Share the shit and tell people King AK broke this shit down on his locker, nigga. I'm about to show y'all right now how prosecutorial look. And once again, Dirt, I'm not here to. I'm just trying to figure out where the fuck this bitch came from in your case, and how. What the fuck is going on with this shit, bro? I've never seen no shit, bro. I've never seen the case ever where they say they have probable cause and had probable cause, but prosecutorial discretion? Let's look up what prosecutorial discretion means. That Dirt arm was hanging out the fucking window. And how did they know through his tattoos? They said his arm out his car was shooting. The seriousness of the offense. It was attempted murders and shit and shoots. And he got charged with criminal gang at the audit. The size of the court's caseload. Y'all think the caseload ain't big? And remember, I don't give a fuck about this shit. But we need to know, what do they mean by... I'm going to tell you all this. If they would have said, we dropped the case for lack of evidence, we wouldn't do this. But when you say criminatorial and all this shit, wait a minute. The need to conserve prosecutorial resources for more serious cases. You think this bitch doing that when she just indicted the fucking niggas and all they was doing for real was breaking in houses? The availability of alternatives to formal prosecution. The defendant's culpability. The defendant's criminal record, the defendant's willingness to cooperate with the investigation or prosecution of others. And guess what? Dirk don't have to tell. But remember what C.J. Rondo lawyer, right? Listen to me. Listen to me. Dirk don't gotta open his motherfucking mouth about nothing.
To surrender as we speak.
Yeah.
How come?
Because I have nothing to add. Like, I have nothing to run from.
Did you do it? Did you shoot this man? Did you commit the other crimes of which you're accused?
No.
In a dismissal of charges motion issued by Georgia's Superior Court of Fulton County District Attorney Fannie T. Willis writes, she wrote this, the facts of this case have been reviewed, and although it appears that probable cause existed for the defendant's arrest, the decision of the district attorney at this time is not to prosecute. The reasoning given for the decision is prosecutorial discretion. Now, when you go to prosecutorial discretion, since she gave us the reason, and you scroll down and you get to reading everything that come with that shit. Scroll down and read everything that come with that shit. Everything. Boom. We read all this, read all that. And what's the last thing you see? The defendant's willingness to cooperate with the investigation or prosecution of others. Obviously, Dirk don't fit nothing else because his criminal record is horrible. His culpability is horrible. They labeled him as the driver, his car. The available of alternatives to formal prosecution is horrible, based off how she's RICOing everybody else. The need to converge prosecutor resources for more serious cases is not applied because she says she's going after everything in Atlanta. The size of the court's caseload is 4 motherfuckers on a big ass caseload that took 4 years for this shit to get shit, so the caseload bigger than a motherfucker. The seriousness of the offense, attempted murders when niggas was shooting out of a vehicle and then they killed the motherfucker. Niggas with fellas with guns in gang shit. That's what she said on her mouth she's targeting. The sufficiency of evidence linking the suspect to the case, which said they had him on camera sticking his hand up. So none of these apply. It just leaves one thing. This. The defendant's willingness to cooperate with the investigation of the prosecution of others. Bro, all that shit, none of that other shit can even apply. So as I'm sitting here and I'm looking at this shit, and look, Dirk, once again, if you watching this, my job is not to get you in trouble or call you a rat, for real, because I know niggas lawyers might do whatever, but whatever your lawyer do, you do it. You do know that's off your name, like he's representing you. But what I'm saying is, when I sat here and I said, damn, because everybody wanted to know, how did he beat the case? The lady told us how he beat the case, how the charges got dropped. She said prosecutorial discretion. Now, when you look up prosecutorial discretion, they give you 7 factors of how the case can get dropped. And every one of them factors, we can literally X out but one. Because, like we went over the defendant's criminal record, bro, he's a felon. We don't even gotta go by Dirk's criminal record. He's a felon. The defendant's culpability. You can keep going through all this shit, and it's not me bringing it to the internet. They told us what his culpability was. They told us the caseload size. They told us everything but the defendant's willingness to cooperate with the investigation of prosecution.
Appeared in court where a judge ruled there was enough evidence for him to go to trial. Channel 2's anchor Lori Wilson is live near where the shooting happened, near the Varsity, and Lori, police say they have video evidence in this case.
Javita, APD says they used at least 5 cameras from local businesses, including this BP, as well as from the Varsity across the street, in order to build their case against Lil Durk and his co-defendant. On Friday, detectives from Atlanta and Chicago testified in the criminal case against rapper Lil Durk in Fulton County Court. They say around 5 in the morning on February 5th, Lil Durk, whose real name is Dirk Derek Banks, and his co-defendant Devontae Bennett were seen on camera involved in shooting Alexander Witherspoon, a person police say they knew.
They were hanging out. They went to a studio to make music.
The rapper and Bennett listened to the evidence against them in court. Police told the judge later that night the victim, Banks, Bennett, and others went to a nightclub, a gas station, and ended up in the parking lot of the Varsity. That's when Witherspoon said he was robbed and shot.
He said his chain was snatched off his neck, and he had $30,000 stolen from him, and they stole the vehicle he was driving.
Police say Banks was seen on tape shooting a gun.
You see Mr. Banks' arm out the window firing several shots at the victim, towards the victim.
Are members of Chicago gangs that they knew the victim, Alexander Witherspoon, had $30,000, an expensive chain, and a nice car, and that's why he was targeted. Banks' attorneys tried to create doubt that the rapper did any shooting.
You don't see Mr. Banks shooting on the street at any time. The only time you believe he was shooting is when he was in the camouflage Jeep, correct?
That's the only time I could see him shooting.
After 2 hours in court testimony and statements by prosecutors and defense, the judge ruled there is enough evidence for the case to go to trial.
This court finds probable cause.
What Rondo number 9 lawyer did was say his shit did nothing and basically said, see, they was the shooter. Now, did Rondo number 9 say that? No. Number 9 say anything out his mouth. No. Technically, did Rondo never non-snitch? No. But you must take action for what your lawyer's saying. You must. Now, what do we know for a fact happened? Fuck paperwork, because it ain't gonna never be no paperwork. Because guess why? What do we know why that lady did what she did? She said out her mouth. Let's scroll up. Why did Dirk case get dropped? Because of this word right here. No other reason. She said nothing. This word right here. This word. This word. This word. Y'all. Not lack of evidence. None of that. This one word is the only and sole reason how Lil Durk beat his case. And I'm not lying to you. Go read the shit.
19 CP 183693 involving defendant Davon Bennett. The court finds probable cause for possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, participation in a criminal street gang activity, aggravated assault, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, and criminal attempt to commit murder. The court notes that, and as everyone is aware here, the standard here is a probable cause standard, which is a far lower standard than the standard beyond a reasonable doubt, which is the jury trial standard. And as it relates to the charge of participation in a criminal street gang activity, as to both of these defendants,
They said it was Dirk car. They got proof of the Dirk car. Somebody shot out that motherfucker. So you need to tell me that the two dead niggas don't even get a mention, but the two alive niggas can just beat their case all prosecutorial when the only how they can beat it all prosecutorial because we went through everything. Bezu criminal record fucked up too. He on the same caseload. We went through everything. The only way, and I'm not making it up, we just read it. The only way that's feasible that these niggas can beat this case is the defendant's willingness to cooperate with the investigation or the prosecution of others. That's the only way. We read everything.